Hey, my wonderful, wonderful, beautiful, beautiful people. A pleasant afternoon to you. You know, one of the sad realities in life, my wonderful people, is that people who should have been people's good friends or best friends have become enemies. And let me expound on what I'm talking about. People have been so much a people pleaser as opposed to being people centric or people oriented, meaning when you're people centric, you really value the needs of others and you look out for the needs of others. When you're people oriented, it's similar. You look out for the needs of others, for good relationships, for collaboration, for friendships. It is just really doing to others as you would have them do unto you, which is different from being a people pleaser. A people pleaser is somebody who will always, barring none, basically putting others' opinions, even if they're false, about them above their needs because they're fearful of losing some kind of attraction from them. And usually if you grow up in a very dysfunctional home, meaning one without a mother or a father, or a disturbed mother or father, and the disturbance or the disturbed personality traits passed on to you, you become fearful in losing people. So you will hang on to cockroaches, you will hang on to scorpions, you will hang on to junk crows, you will hang on to duppies, you will hang on to things that really are not doing you well, because in your mind it is better to have even a broken person than no one in your sphere. And that's a very unfortunate situation, because what you're now telling the people is, you can do whatever it is you want to do to me. I'm not going to lose you, because I can't take not having somebody in my sphere. And one of the things that I encourage people to not do is not be a people pleaser, because what is happening is that you are melting and a metamorphosis is being created where you're now trying, unfortunately, to become who you were not originally designed or desired by God to be. And I vehemently hit out against people pleaser. Being a people pleaser, I should say. Be people centric, be people oriented, but not be a people pleaser. You never charter courses that way. You never get to fulfill God's given destiny that way. Actually, you do not build healthy relationships. What ends up happening is that you become the puppet and the people are the puppeteers, and they do whatever it is that they want to do to you. They can lay and plaster filth all over you, figuratively and perhaps literally, and you take it as though you're being laced with icing and cherry on top. You have to be intentional in valuing yourself. You have to be intentional in saying, I'm important. If it means for a season I may not have anybody who really loves me, well, that may not be true. There may be one or even two people who actually values you. You may not come across them as yet, but he or she is actually there. He or she may actually be there. You just have not seen or come across that destiny person who's designed to be in your life as yet. But you have to reach to a point where you said, okay, comes what may. If they want to go, let them go. If they're to stay, let them stay. Notwithstanding, we live in a dark world. We live in a broken world, and there is an enemy. And you have to pray to keep things intact and in check. You understand? Because I don't subscribe to what is for me will always be for me, can't be unfor me. And what is for you can't be unfor you. You have to be very careful of that. There are many people who have promulgated such a message, but the enemy has come and just snatched that. He has actually kicked that to the curb, because we didn't put components in place. Prayer, fasting, dedication, persistence, and so forth, and God's blessing and favor upon it. Working in a smart way to keep relationships going. One of the things that people have to understand is that you have to be a good steward of relationships. Not just be a good steward of finances, you have to be good stewards of relationships. And The problem is that people are not stewarding relationships the right way. They are becoming people pleasers. So what has happened is that because they want to please that crowd, they will end up even making an enemy out of somebody who should be their good friend, who should be their best friend even. Because they want to please a particular crowd, because they want to please a particular person, because that is a popular crowd, that is the in crowd. And one of the things that I've realized in this day and age, in this 21st century, is that today for you, tomorrow for me. You will see somebody on a high today, and tomorrow the one who was on the low starts to go on the high. If you look at Psalm 75:67, it says, "For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. But God is the one that setteth up one and puts down another." Puts down another. It tells a story. You may be down today, but tomorrow you'll be up. Today you're up, tomorrow you're down, and it's as though you never existed. Your memory is wiped off the off of the planet completely. So because you're a people pleaser, you end up becoming an enemy to somebody who should be your best friend, to somebody who should be your good friend, or just a very good associate, or a ordinary friend. Instead of being people-centric, where you build healthy relationships, while you build a healthy mindset, or people-oriented, where you build these, friendships and relationships for collaboration, for unity, for harmony, as opposed to, I've been rejected when I was young, and I can't take any more rejection. So I know that this crowd isn't good. I know that their character leaves much to be desired. And one of the things that God's word is always true: bad company spoils good morals. Bad company spoils good morals. No matter how wonderful and sweet and kind and generous you are, if you hang around people who do not share the same sentiments, they're not on the same wavelength, they don't share the same standards and principles. These are people who gossip and spread rumor, who are slanderous, who are just downright evil and wicked, and you hang around them constantly, incessantly even, then it's going to chip away at principles and belief systems that you once held true to. And until the rubber meets the road, until you're bitten by that Rottweiler, then you will begin to understand that you should not have gone down that path. Stop being a people pleaser. Be people centric, be people oriented, but not be a people pleaser. It eats away at the moral fabric of who you are designed to be, who God desires for you to be. It eats away at your potentiality. It eats away at your ambition. It eats away at your gifts and your talents. When you could unearth them, they're suffocated, they're strangled to death. Because the crowd says, we don't want this in our space. We don't want you to be different. You're either with us and do what we say, or you get out and you face the consequences of being ostracized, of being blackballed, gaslighted. But one of the things you don't understand is that nothing lasts except salvation. It doesn't last. And today they may be up, but tomorrow it's a dawning of their dawn to come. Value yourselves. Don't let anybody dictate who you should be or what it is that you should do under the auspices of God. Don't be a people pleaser. There are many people who are unhappy today because they have been given over, in a sense, to their reprobate minds, and have sabotaged possible great friendships and good friends that they could have had in their lives because they wanted to please a particular crowd. You have to build up in yourselves that tenacity, that strength to be by yourself for a season, and allow God to put strategic people in your space. And then you will know, yes, now I'm living my truth. Now I'm living the fullness of my life the way I ought to live it. Don't be a people pleaser. Be people centric and people oriented. Guys, you know what to do. Read TikTok and YouTube. Subscribe. Have a good one.